Hello, welcome, Cavature. In War of the Visions, let's talk about the upcoming EX jobs. It's been a day since the announcement of EX jobs, and I've had some time to think about it, and I've had some time to listen to what other people are saying. Some people are angry, some people are excited, and some people are cautiously reserving judgment. And I agree with everyone. I'm feeling all those things too. But this is a big change, and people are going to feel strongly about it. And when a big change like this does come, it can change the way you play or spend, and for some people it is going to be a bridge too far. But first, I wanted to show a little bit of the live stream just for a few reasons. Namely that Orodoa was indeed announced to get EX jobs. People don't believe me there for some reason. And also to show that Yuna was not specifically announced. They were clear about Tita, but they were unclear about Yuna or Auron, which is super frustrating. We'll find out for sure on Saturday. And then on Saturday I will put up a video where I just kind of go through like the menus. Hopefully I can look at like what skills are available to different characters. But yeah, here's the live stream.
新キャラは T だというのを対象にします。
新キャラも行くんですね。
行きます。行く予定です。で、ここから9キャラユーレアが L でロブ、オルドはごめん忘れたもう一個。してる通常してるだ。がユーレアです。で SSR はモント。はい。で S レアがベイロ。でレアがリアート。
いいねリアート。
が追加を最初はしていきます。
Alright, so that was that. The people that are upset are largely people with experience with Gumi games, and there's plenty of precedent to make us worried about this announcement this early in the life of War of the Visions. I've said this before, but no one hated Gumi more than me when I quit Brave Exvius, and it nearly stopped me from installing War of the Visions. I've been pleasantly surprised so far by how well War of the Visions has been handled. They are quick with quality of life, but slow with power creep. But that doesn't mean that I haven't also been keeping an eye out for the moment when the game jumps the shark. I don't think this is it, but it can count as a warning sign maybe. So although it's a little upsetting, I don't expect it to change the game a lot, to be honest. The top tiers of PvP will be influenced, but PvE probably will not make the jump up to require level 120 units anytime soon. But then we remember the lie that they told at the announcement of 7 stars in Brave Exvius, where they said that they would not be required for content, and then Gilgamesh Kai was released like, what, 6 months later? Granted, 6 months is a long time in a mobile game, but what if in 6 months in War of the Visions, level 120 units are required for PvE? The thought of that makes me depressed. And also in preparation for this video, I went back and I looked at my videos about like my first 7-star units, Lunith and Squall, and it just made me depressed because those units were power crept very quickly. I will say that the time in between the release of 7 stars and the coming of Gilgamesh Kai was fun, because at that point, and then all the points before it, there was room for funkiness, and that's a great place to be. What I mean by that is that you could use weird units or weird team compositions and still get clears of high difficulty content. And that is so important to me because I don't like using meta units. I like exercising my mind and creativity and getting clears with units that I like. I'll refer to that Pokemon quote again, but strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, that is nonsense. Strong trainers will find a way to win with the Pokemon they love. I was able to do that a little in my clear of Gilgamesh Kai by using Mercenary Ramza, Bosch, and Tita. But after a week of testing, I had to rely on a top-of-the-meta unit, Sid, to really get the clear. And then I looked ahead to the Esper fight for Ashura, and it looked like I needed to use a top-tier chainer, and that signaled to me that that was it for me. Brave Exvius was really fun until then. It made me sad to go back and look at those old videos. I used 6-star Gladiolus a ton, I used 7-star Elfrida and Veritas of the Light a ton. I loved all the Esper fights, I loved the Chamber of Arms. I miss that era of the game very much. War of the Visions is in that sweet spot where you can really use any unit you like in any game mode, even PvP, and get good results if you use them right. But EX jobs might signal an end to that room for funkiness. I wish I could say it is not inevitable, but maybe that's foolish of me to think so. But I will continue to play War of the Visions until at least we reach that point, and I hope that the way things are set up with different elements and jobs and attack types, that we are a long ways away from needing the newest units to beat the newest PvE. But here, let's look ahead. Let's see how to approach EX jobs. First of all, I'll show you my barracks. I pumped a bunch of vision ore into this meter to extend the time. I don't have to do this, of course, but the bigger the meter, the less I have to refill it at one time. And I always forget to do this, so this will mean less lost time, especially when I'm asleep or at work. I have it up to 6.5 hours here. Let's see if I can fill that up. But I really like it to go up to 12 hours. That way if I check it just twice a day, I'll be maximizing that functionality. But that is going to be an investment, as we can see here. Next, I'm probably going to stop using the barracks for JP completely. The bonus is not that great, to be honest, especially with the addition of those orb things that raise JP gained from quests. So who will I put in here? I think there are two ways to think here. One is getting units to level 99, or two, getting units to level 120. At this point in time, I think people should mostly focus on getting level 99 units and working on just their favorites up to level 120. Another way to approach leveling to 120 would be to select 3 units for a PvP team. Again, PvP is going to be more affected by EX jobs, so that might be a good way to focus your picks. Healer, tank, attacker is a popular team build, and you could use the same healer and tank, but switch out the attacker. So healer and tank could be two good kind of starting choices to work on to level 120. I feel like the release of this barracks functionality coinciding with the release of EX jobs is no accident. One is meant to help you with the other, and that's smart. It's like releasing select tickets with 7 stars in Brave Exvius. Unfortunately, what happened in Brave Exvius is that select tickets were so poorly thought out that they significantly affected Gumi's bottom line. So first, Gumi became super stingy about handing select tickets out, and then they effectively nerfed them with limited units, where you couldn't use select tickets to get them. Hopefully they don't nerf this barracks functionality in the future. No backsies, Gumi. A lot of people are looking at the 400 shards thing and immediately translating that into money cost. And yes, if you think about it in those terms, it's effed up. Furthermore, if you think about limited time units needing 1,000 shards within their time period, and you translate that into money cost, then that's really effed up. But just like with UR equipment, they should be considered long-term projects, and the barracks, which can also work with limited time units, are the key to that. Non-limited time units get access to the hard quests, 6 a day if you are a Royal rank 10, taking advantage of the resets. But limited time units will not have those hard quests, so that might dissuade some people from pulling limited time units, myself included. With my talisman, I was already at a point where it would be easy for me to skip limited time units, but now it'll be even easier. Looking up at the Mount Everest of 1,000 shards, I'll be like, no thanks, I'll be happy in the ski lodge with my current units. But that's going to be a deal breaker for some people, especially those that want mainline characters and are not interested in War of the Visions original characters. I will say, however, that I'm still a big fan of level 89 units, and that is not too much of a push during a 2-week period. When level 89 units are no longer viable, however, I'll let you know about that. One interesting thing is that they had a chance to add Super Trustmasters, like get your unit to level 120 and get a Super Trustmaster, but maybe people would be flipping tables even more if they did that. But yeah, announcing level 120 units so early in the life of the game makes it very believable that level 150 or higher is coming sometime down the line. Alright, finally, I'll tell you my personal plans for how I'm going to use the barracks, and then which units I will consider taking to 120. But let's filter by our units first. Even if Sazan gets to level 120 capability, I don't think I'm going to work on him. Probably the same thing for these R units, so we'll go to SR. Here, I think the #1 character I would like to get to 120 would be Tsubayaki. She just needs more magic value, I feel like, and agility, of course. If she had just those two things, I think she could be really useful. She's already really great with her attack resistances. But yeah, you know, she could use Flare, she could use Jamming Thrust, maybe she could be a good damage source with some more power there. Rida Rurida, she's kind of interesting too. I think she could be a decent magic tank. You look at this, and already her magic resistance is up to 27%. Then you get 20 from Fenrir, you get like 8 from Armor of Light. And then with Subjob White Mage, you know, she has Holy, she has Curada, but maybe you could give her some other White Mage spells through the EX jobs, and I don't know, she might be good. I will say, though, that typically I don't like these cutesy kind of characters, but the voice actress for Ride Rurira is so good that she won me over during story. And then, during the live stream, her voice actress, she joined the panel, and she's like Ride Rurira in real life, and I was amazed. And now I like her even more. What was funny is that she was kind of like the MVP. Well, she was a big Final Fantasy X fan, so she was gushing about that, really selling the collaboration.
河野まりかさんです。よろしくお願いします。リレルリレ役の河野まりかです。
それなんだね。
練習でね。
でもお二人ともすごいですね。リレルリラよく噛まずに。
リレルリラそうなんですよ。なんか私も大好きなキャラクターなので、言ってるうちに鳴らすっていう方法で頑張りました。
なるほど。た
だハロウィンバージョンが出た時に、ハロウィンを極めてると。ハロルリラ推しっていう称号がもらえるんですけど、ハロルリラの方が言いづらいっていうことで。ハロルリラ。滑舌の練習。そうなんですよ。皆さんもぜひ呼んでくださいね。はい、よろしくお願いします。
But then later, when they were talking about the EX job systems, and the comments were like really depressing, the three guys who were announcing it, the voice actress for Ride Rurira, she kept being bright and cheerful and going, ooh, interesting, oh, fun. She was the MVP, she's great. And that might motivate me to make me want to take this SR to level 120. Okay, next let's look at MR units. I guess we'll just look at 99s. But Fina, actually, I would be interested to take her to level 120. I think she's a great character. I think she's underrated even now. The only reason why I don't use her is because I have Rosa, and Rosa's kind of better in all aspects than Fina. But yeah, Fina, she could do the ranged physical attacks, ranged magic. I think she's hampered by the cleric subjob, but every cleric is kind of held back from there. But she's got like full life, she's got cheer, one of the best buffs in the game. So that might be interesting to take her to 120. And then just like Tsubayaki, Inori, I'd also like to take to 120. To be honest, she's good enough the way she is. But if I could get more like HP, more agility out of her, that would be great. And I think those are the only MRs that I'd be really interested in. Oh, Mariaru, I love Mariaru. I'd want to work on her too, I think. Alright, and then finally, let's look at URs. First of all, for the barracks, I'd want to put some limited time units in there so that I could raise their levels. I think my top priorities would be Christmas Mashiri and Agrius. Christmas Mashiri, she will be back soon, but I'll work on her both in the barracks and I'll buy her shards when she appears in the shop, so it'll be like working on her on two fronts. Agrius I'd like to get to 99 just because I like her so much and use her so much. I can get a little bit more usability out of that. Christmas Ramada, we'll see. She's definitely lower priority than Christmas Mashiri for me. But I suspect that they will announce EX jobs for these two Christmas units in December. And yeah, I'll have to see like what kind of new skills that she gets from that. And if it seems like it's worth it, then I'll put her in the barracks, slowly work her up to 400. I don't know if I would buy her shards, but yeah. The idea of working on 2 or more units at once is not attractive, so priority goes to Mashiri, but Ramada, I'll put her in the barracks at least, depending on her abilities. And that's kind of going to guide which characters I choose to take to 120. I said this in the last video, but like more stats, more multipliers are not going to be too interesting to me, but new abilities that I think would really improve the character, those would motivate me to want me to take characters to 120. But after I finish Mashiri and Agrius, perhaps I'd want to put Rosa in there. I'm really happy with her at 89, so I don't feel any great need to take her to 99, but that is an option. Thancred I would really like to get to 99, but again, as a cost 100 unit, he'll only get 1 shard a day. I do have 75 right now, so that's a nice head start, but still. Yeah, you think about it, non-limited units versus limited units. With the hard quests and the resets, I could get 8 shards a day for non-limited units, while I would be stuck at 2 for limited, so that's something to consider as well. And then, I did say before that of that first batch, which will be coming this Saturday, I would want to work on Stern. But the thing is that I already have a very buff Stern, and I would be happy to keep using this guy. It'll depend again on what skills he gets. So instead, I might want to work on Orudoa instead of Stern, and I really do like her. She just needs a little something extra to make her easier to use, a little bit more survivable. But besides Orudoa, I think Sasayaki, I'd like to take her to 120. I'm very curious to see what they have in store for her. But even just more HP will really help her, I think. Miranda, maybe? 120 would be interesting for her. You saw me use her in the PvP video the other day. She's still super viable in the game. And then, I don't know, Lucia. I consider Lucia, I really do like her, but lately I've been liking Luasa more. I think, again, I'll have to wait for the abilities to see what they can do, but yeah, really liking Luasa. Oh, and then Mashiri. That might be interesting. I talked about her recently in another video, but there's a lot of potential for her. And then Rob and Edude, they will get their EX jobs this weekend as well. But I'm not going to push for either to get to 99. If it happens organically, if I just pull them randomly, then maybe I'll consider them at that time. Oh, and also, you know, I pulled Warrior of Light. He might be another interesting candidate to put into the barracks. Just get him up very slowly. We don't know when that collaboration is going to come back. Okay, so those are some further thoughts about EX jobs before they have been released. On Saturday, I do want to make a video where I just kind of go through the game and look at the menus, hopefully look at some skills for the characters. And then as I remember more stuff, or I think of more points to address, I'll make videos about those as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.